My makeup coming of age was during that kind of 2015 Instagram baddie, Anastasia Beverly Hills owning, like the way that Taylor Swift owns the makeup charts right now. That is how Anastasia Beverly Hills owned the makeup community. And then I don't know what happened. The products weren't appealing to me. They weren't drawing me in. The formulas weren't that great. I mean, I think I know what happened, but I'm just gonna not get into those details. But it starts with a Nor and ends in a Vina. That's all. Anyways, I really felt like for the longest time that Anastasia Beverly Hills was losing its touch. It was losing that classic kind of beautiful, kind of the soft glam that we fell in love with. The things that made modern Renaissance so great, that just sort of beautiful, glamorous kind of you but better, but like just shimmering and sparkling. Just kind of lost that spark for me. And I don't know, one day I bought my last Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and I didn't even know that was the day. So fast forward to 2022, she releases the Nouveau palette, which is that beautiful green palette. I buy it and it felt just like putting on an old pair of gloves that fits you perfectly. Like it was so nice to kind of be back in the groove with Anastasia Beverly Hills. The formula had improved so much, in my opinion. Such a joy to use. So that's a very long preamble. I'm not talking about the palette yet, but when I saw the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glam to Go palette, this sweet little pink 8-pan palette, I didn't even know it was launched, but it was new. It was available at Sephora during the Sephora VIB Rouge 20% off sale. It was pink, and I just loved the Nouveau palette so much that I thought, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. So I purchased it. I'm wearing it. I'm gonna share my thoughts with you. Couple of disclaimers. First of all, the candle that in my previous videos I've had behind me, it was a Bath & Body Works 3-wick candle. That one has burned its course. I've replaced it with a new candle. Well, it's not new. I've had it around my house and my room in different places. It's by a brand I absolutely love called Coal & Canary, which is a small Canadian business. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue filming with it because, so the candle has a thick wooden wick, which I love because it sounds like a roaring fireplace. But it occurred to me as I started filming this video and doing my makeup that a roaring fireplace might not be great for sound quality. So for any sound quality problems, I apologize. I think I'll be swapping it out for another new candle that I can't wait to show you guys next time. By next time, probably when I sit down to film tomorrow. But anyways, this palette. So in this video, I thought it was originally, because it's only an 8-pan, I thought I'd just do one look. But as I looked at the color story, I really was able to kind of divide it into two. You've got sort of this like softer ethereal quad, and then you've got this kind of warmer rose gold quad. So what we're gonna do with this video, I'm gonna show you one look with sort of each of those quads, each of those kind of color stories within the palette that, at least that my eye caught, that stood out to me. I will say that this palette wasn't as intuitive to use as I thought. So I think we're gonna revisit that thought in the conclusion because I haven't, at the time of filming this intro, I haven't played around in this kind of ethereal quad yet. So we are going to do my makeup, we're gonna do the two looks, I'm gonna share with you guys some swatches, and then I'm gonna share with you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into it. Okay, let's open this up. So the sparkly palette does match the sparkly box. Okay, so this is just a really sweet little 8-pan pink rosy palette, which is just up my alley. I'm gonna start with my Refer number, how do I want to use this? So I'm gonna start with my Liz Wautier blending brush, and you know what? This palette actually doesn't feel intuitive to me, which is weird for me because it's so pink. We're gonna do a more warm tone look. So we're going to use softly over here to sort of give a little bit of shape and definition to our eyes. Oh, and because this is a new palette, I need to take the little frost off. There we go. Okay. So I've loaded up softly on my brush, and I'm just gonna start by sort of sculpting out. Ooh, that does pack a lot more of a punch than I thought it would. That's actually quite pigmented. In the pan, it looked really, really soft. I had half of mine to put this all over my lid, so I'm really glad I didn't. I do have MAC Paint Pot and Paint Really already on my lid, so that can sort of double as a base. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I think I'm gonna just, that's funny. Okay, so I was gonna say softly. The shade is named Softly. I'm just gonna softly take the side of my brush and just sort of, almost like I'm painting with watercolor, just add just a little bit of coverage on my lid there. Perfect. It's almost like just like a little bit of a tint. It's not a lot, but I think it does add to it. And then let's go in with Rosy. And then let's go in with Rosy right here as our crease color. Ooh, I really like how those two play together. So we'll put it on this side. And then using the same brush, I'm gonna go in with Dusk over here. It's kind of that matte brown. And I'm going to go under here, just for a little pop. To finish off, I'm gonna go in with Sunburst, which is this pretty sort of shimmering kind of pink, copper, rose gold. It's quite warm toned. Then I'm just going to blend it in a touch with the blending brush. Okay, I'm gonna finish it off with some eyeliner and mascara, and then I'll show you the completed look. Okay, day 2 with this palette. Let's stick in this beautiful, sort of ethereal, very soft, pretty. So I have MAC Paint Pot and Paint Really on my eyes, and I think I'm gonna try doing a very soft crease with Sunset. So I'm using my Wayne Goss 17 brush, and I will say, I'm not sure if it'll pick up, but there's already a lot of kickback. I do find this though with Anastasia Beverly Hills matte eyeshadows, so I'm not surprised. And already this color is a lot warmer and a lot more pigmented than I expected it to be. So got a bit of a soft kind of bit of a crease going on there. So I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with Dawn. Now I do worry that this could get a little bit muddy because Dawn is a bit more neutral whereas Sunset is quite warm. Using the same fluffy brush. Okay, no, it's working fine. Just deepening out just a little bit. Again, Dawn does have a lot of kickback, which not surprising for a matte from Anastasia. Okay, so I'm going to do a really soft wash of Dawn just all over my lid, just to kind of even things out, just the lightest amount. So what I'm gonna do with my finger, I think, I'm gonna go with Pretty on the inner part here, kind of the inner third. Actually, we'll do like the inner half. And then using the same finger, I'm gonna go in with Fireworks, which is that really pretty sort of like mauvey shimmer. I'm gonna put that on the outer half. So using a clean blending brush, we're just going to blend that all together. Okay, I'm gonna add some mascara and eyeliner and then I'll show you the completed look. So here are the swatches on the palette. I started on the top row and then continued on the bottom row. Okay, so here we have our completed second look. As a reminder, we stuck in this quad over here, and I don't know, every time I look at that part of the palette, I'm not even sure if this is correct or not, but it makes me think of is it the cream soda or the soda shop quad that ColourPop has? Anyways, I don't know, I just look at it and that's what I think of. I just think of cream soda. So anyway, so I have the quad on, and I will say I like this side better than the look that we did yesterday, aka probably like 5 minutes ago in this video, but I do find the pinks very flattering. I had a really hard time choosing between Pretty and Fireworks. Those are definitely probably the colors that I'm most attracted to in this palette. As usual with Anastasia Beverly Hills, her shimmers are fantastic. The mattes are always more pigmented than I think that they're going to be, so they pack quite a punch. I also find her mattes, especially in this palette, they do pull warmer than I thought that they would. Overall though, the mattes of course do have a lot of kickback, but that's something we see a lot with Anastasia's formula. So let's deliver the final verdict. So this palette retails for 38 Canadian dollars. And I remember when I first started getting into makeup that for 40 or 50 bucks you could get like a full-size palette. So the fact that mini palettes are now 38 Canadian dollars, wild to me. But for $38 you do get 8 shades, and I find often that a mini palette will tend to be maybe 5 or 6 shadows. So the fact that you get 8 I think makes it really versatile. I do like that there's a peachy side of the palette and a rose tone side of the palette. So I will say that you can get, you know, some pretty different looks, of course in that sort of pink shimmery glam family, but I think you can get a good variety of looks out of the 8 shades that they provide. My one piece of criticism is I would have liked to have seen either like a lighter matte shade, you know, something that's maybe like a bone color, or just something I could sort of put all over my lid to start my look. That's how I like to start off my eyeshadow looks. Or if that's not possible, I'd like to see maybe like a satin pearl shade, maybe something even like, you know, Urban Decay's Sin, just something that I can kind of pop under my brows, a little bit of a highlight. I find for me that's something that really brings my looks together. Again, that's me and my makeup style, that's what I like. So I would have liked to have seen either of those shades. I think that if instead of being an 8 pan, if this could have been a 10 pan palette, I mean, that would take it further and further away from the mini version. But if we could have added like a pearl kind of satin shade here and sort of a matte ivory shade over here and just extended the palette, I think that would have made it truly perfect for me. But overall, what I really do like about this palette is you can get a complete look. Personally for me, with an eyeshadow palette, I need to be able to get a complete look. So I can get that look, it's just to get the look that I prefer, I would really have liked to have had at least one of those 2 other shades. I will say that you probably don't need Sunset and Softy. I think they really fill a similar role in the palette. They're both kind of more warm tone, they both pull a little deep. So I think if you maybe got rid of Sunset and you swapped in one of the 2 shades that I had mentioned, to me that would make this palette truly perfect. So I know that's being kind of nitpicky, but hey, that's what we do. We review makeup and I'm gonna tell you what I think. So I do really like this palette. I will say that to me, this palette is not travel friendly for work. So this, I don't really feel like I would get a lot of looks that I'd want to wear to the office with this palette. I also didn't buy it with that intention. I do like when a mini palette can sort of have like a day and like a night sort of vibe on each side, or you just want to add some pinks and peaches to your collection from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which of course has a great formula, but at a little bit more of a, I'm not gonna say budget friendly, but I think her full-size palettes are like closer to $70 now. So, you know, you're able to get a pretty good selection of shadows and shades. Overall, I really like this palette and I definitely recommend it. I would just caution you to think about if you're going to get the mileage out of this palette, because I do think that ultimately, even though I thought one side would be more ethereal and one side would be a little bit deeper, I think you're getting similar, more done up glam looks. So I would just think about where this would fit in your collection. I know there's tons of pink palettes out there, and I do have a video coming up about my favorite pink eyeshadow palette, so stay tuned. But overall, I think this is a really pretty palette for $38. I can't believe it, but I do think that is a great value. Once again, I did purchase this during the Sephora sale, so I got it for 20% off, which is an even better value. But this palette was a lot of fun to play with. It was really not the most intuitive color story, which I found that kind of interesting for me to kind of figure out, how do I want to pair these? Of course, there's so many other ways that you can pair these shadows, so I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. If you do decide to pick this up, what shadows do you see yourself pairing? So if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing vlogmas very soon, so new videos every single day until Christmas, and I'm so excited to turn my background into my kind of like pink Christmas setup. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.